Let's take inshallah ta'ala the next hadith. So we take two hadith. And this hadith is number 12. عن أبي هريرة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من حسن إسلام المرء من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعني. حديث حسن رواه الترمذي وغيره. من حسن إسلام المرء, from the goodness of one's Islam. Al-Mar is the human being. From the goodness of the Islam of a person, تركه ما لا يعني, leaving what does not يعني, what does not concern him, does not have any benefit to him. So this is also one of the comprehensive hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And if a person applies it, it perfects one's Islam. And when a person's Islam is perfect, that means he enters the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the person doesn't apply this hadith, that means there is deficiency in his Islam, it shows that this is a mandatory thing for a person to be upon. So what is تركه ما لا يعني? To leave what does not concern him. And this is in all matters, right? A person should be busy with what concerns him. And there are many things that people get themselves busy with that does not concern them. And to know what concerns us is important, because that needs knowledge. And always affairs of things or things are based on the end of it. To know whether something matters to us or not, to look at the end of it, meaning in the hereafter. Does that, being busy with knowing what the neighbor has, for example, what new car he purchased, does that benefit the person and you inform in the hereafter? Something that is of no concern for the person. To seek that knowledge, for example, or to try to find or to talk about it. To leave what is not of any concern. Many of gatherings where people, they sit together, they talk about things that is of no benefit to them. They might think that it's not haram to talk about. They're not backbiting, for example. But is it benefiting? Is it something that will bring benefit? And does that mean that the person always have to be upon what is benefiting? Yes. That's one of the goodness of one's Islam. To perfect one religion is to always doing things of benefit or brings benefit to the person. Even if a person is relaxing or doing something of enjoyment, is a way to benefit so that he goes back to the seriousness of life. But to be busy with things that is of no concern. And so, first of all, it can lead easy to a person to commit sins. Plus, it's waste of life. Life is very precious, it's very short. And people would regret the time that they did not use in this life to establish the purpose of it, and that is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it shows how the Muslim should seek the best of deeds and the best of, to make his religion the best. Otherwise, a person might get himself busy with something that gets him tired, and it's of no benefit whatsoever. And we can, this is also a very comprehensive hadith that covers many things in our life. So the most important thing that matters to us is the deen. So this is what a person should have the knowledge of, be busy with in applying the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing the halal, knowing the haram, being concerned about this, reading Quran, dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on. And then the worldly matters, anything that would help the person to establish the deen, this is something that is of concern. Livelihood matters, things like this is definitely, mashallah, this is good. But then when it comes to the concern towards people, enjoining good and forbidding evil, that's part of that. Some people, they think that if you advise your brother, then that's what's none of your business. It's of no concern to you. No, it is a concern, because it's part of the deen. To advise one another, if you see a mistake in your brother, then you're a mirror to your brother. You enjoin good and forbid evil. Da'wah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's part of what concerns the ummah is one, as the Prophet ﷺ said, as the hadith, also the next hadith talks about that meaning. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you shall be. So this is all part of what is concerning to the person. And people sometimes they use these words out of context, or they misunderstand what it means. So the deen of Islam, this is what concerns us, and the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when you look into our lives, many things that people do that is of no concern. For example, being so much in seeking information about politics and what happens in the world and things like this, in so much details that is of no concern. That's different than knowing, of course, what things are, what's happening, to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring the help to the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mashallah, this is good. But to know every single detail, and as we know that, for example, the news part is an industry by itself, and they make sure that they get people busy with their thinking and with their fears and with their concerns. And when a Muslim is just busy in his life listening to this analysis and this analysis, and what this person is saying, what that person said, and the quotes of many people, and then there's nothing left in one's day and night for the important things. And that's when it comes to the subject of what happens in the world, even, and what people said and what people did and so on. It's 5 minutes is enough for a person to get to know what's happening, and that's it. As an example. And the same thing, for other things that people have, even things that might be even sinful, watching things that are sinful, that is of no benefit for the person, or the subject of the sports and watching the sports and knowing the scores, and some things can be not permissible, but some things waste of life, waste of time, there is of no benefit whatsoever. And we can go on and on with this. The subject of for example, shopping for things that is of no concern, and always going after things that is, does not benefit, does not, help us in any way or form in matters of deen or matters of dunya and the like of this. So basically, it's a hadith that calls the person to be conscious of what we say, what we do, to make decisions whether I want to do this in my day or not, or night or not. There are many things that can be done, and to give attention to what's benefiting, and to leave what is of no concern that needs knowledge. And the more the person seeks knowledge, the more that he would be, he would know what concerns him. Not necessarily what concerns us is what makes a person have fun or enjoys what he's doing. Some people say that you should do in this life what you enjoy. No, you should do what is right for you. Even if a person would need patience, and that's sure, as long as this is something that fits the person, whether it's in worldly matters, whether it's decisions to make, to work in a certain field or to study something. Enjoying meaning that something that you'll be consistent in doing, yes, but to go always after one's joy, that's not necessarily what is benefiting, to make this is the goal of life, but rather to do what is benefiting, and it becomes also something that a person enjoys to do, and to seek rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So hadith that we need it at all times, basically, that is of great benefit, and it shows how it's related to the core of the religion, as the hadith من حسن Islam الموت. So to revisit all the things that we talk about and the things that we have concern about, so that we always, elevating ourselves in matters of goodness. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us benefit from that, inshallah. So we'll stop here, inshallah, and continue next time. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullah khairan. Wa sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa baraka Muhammad wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.